What's up, guys? My name is Jennifer Janeo, and you are listening to the one and only Generally Speaking podcast located right here in Jacksonville, Florida. If you love Generally Speaking and want to share all of what's amazing about Jacksonville, follow me on Instagram at JuicyJen with 8 N's for more updates on the podcast. Generally Speaking is available on every major platform, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. If you haven't gotten a chance to listen to my last couple episodes, go back and listen. I've had some incredible creatives on here for the past few weeks, and there were a lot of places and things I learned about Jacksonville that I didn't even know. So those episodes were really exciting and informative for me, and I know you guys will like them too. So thank you for my past guests. I'm over, I think, 22 episodes now, and yeah, thanks, Ari. And so thank you guys for all your support before we move along. So born in London and raised in Italy, has been fortunate enough to have explored more than 24 European and South American countries and is fluent in English, Italian, and Spanish. He relocated to Jacksonville in 2014 and is a Fletcher High School graduate as well as Florida State University graduate. He's a real estate agent and, if I must say so myself, an amazing and unbelievably talented artist who is just of an avid Jacksonville lover as I am. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Ari Pinto.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. How are you feeling?
Good. I appreciate it.
Good. Here, you want to talk right?
Oh, my fault. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, you know, you're okay.
I appreciate being here, and I honestly, this is my second podcast, so
welcome.
This is cool.
Welcome. So let's get right into it. I'm happy that you're here. Please tell for everyone listening, please tell everyone a more in-depth narrative about where you have came from, Ari, and what your history is and how you've come to Jacksonville, or why are you in the seat today?
Okay, that's it. I mean, I'll break it down.
Okay, yeah, take your time. We're here.
No. I was born in London in 1999.
Okay.
And I lived there for 2 years.
Okay.
I was born there because my mom was a lawyer.
Okay.
And she was transitioning to Italy. And in the 2 years that she was getting to find her job in Italy, she was living in London. She had me, and then I was born there.
Yay!
Didn't get my citizenship or anything to do with being British. I was actually born, oddly enough, 7 days after or before Brooklyn Beckham and next to Beckham as he delivered his son. And my mom was like, Richard, if you go in there, I'll fucking kill you. So she told my dad, like, don't even bother going to get an autograph. So you're staying right here locked in. Like, don't even think about David and that shit going down next door.
Right.
But that was the birth type
That's
thing
really cool.
London, random story also. That I was born there. Then I moved to New York for about 9 months. And in that time, 9/11 happened. So I was actually in New York when 9/11 happened, right in Central Park. Mm-hmm. It was crazy. I don't remember it, but my babysitter described it as like an earthquake. She was like, massive earthquake.
Wow.
So in that time period of that happening, my parents were trying to sell their home. The buyers went like cold and disappeared. And so it reappeared after a month and paid the offer. And we moved out and made it to Milan. So I lived in Milan.
Dang.
For my first.
You're so cool. Oh my gosh.
My mom's first job in Europe was in Milan as a corporate lawyer. And so she took that job, and it allowed for her family to move there. It was Latham & Watkins, a very prestigious international, any corporate lawyer knows Latham & Watkins. And so I lived there for 6 years. I actually lived right above the Milan AC office. So I'd like be in the elevator with like Ibrahimovic and all these random players. I didn't know who these people were.
Right.
My mom would tell me, that was, and I'm like, really?
I think this is so cool.
So that was in Milan for 6 years. And then my parents decided to buy this home in Rome, right outside of Rome in the countryside. And so year 7, we moved to Rome, and I pretty much started integrating in Rome, a whole new city. So it was like,
oh, that's amazing.
It was cool, but at the same time it was tough, but I got used to it. It was fun. It was like, wow, this is new. This is a whole different thing. I was living in the countryside versus the city. So it was a big change, but
cool. How was the countryside?
It was nuts. It was one of those things. Well, that's where I grew up. I grew up literally in the countryside. If I had to say to people, oh, where are you from? Or how do you, I identify as somebody who grew up right outside of a really big city in the countryside, who loves the city, but much rather live in the countryside.
Yeah,
like,
I love both.
That's why I love Jacksonville so much, because you can be in a city that's not a city. It's great. It's like, you live in Jacksonville, but I don't live in Jacksonville. I live in like Mayport, or I live in like Riverside, or I live in, so it's different than just you know, a city like living in like Manhattan, it's different.
Right.
But no, I grew up right outside Rome in the countryside, and I moved back to the States in 2014, in part because my parents were getting divorced.
Okay.
And in part so I could get a better grip on English proficiency, learning how to write an essay, get into an American college was the goal. So I actually went to...
Okay, so you knew that from a younger age you wanted to go to America?
My parents had, I don't want to say preordained that for me, but they were like, this is the best route for you. And I agreed. I was like, yeah, I want to go to American college. I want that experience. I want that
Okay, yeah. And then you went to Fletcher?
Yep.
How was that experience?
I went to Fletcher actually for only 1 year. So it was fun, but my mom
And then you
like,
went to that prep school,
Stanton
right?
College Prep.
Okay.
Yep. So my mom was like, you're having too much fun here. She's like, how are you going to school and getting straight A's and babysitting your brother and getting paid for that? I was like, it's just easy. And
That's
so she's
pretty
like,
easy.
She's like, you're not going to Fletcher anymore. She's like, you're going to Stanton. And that really, honestly, it kind of changed the trajectory, I would say, of my like American life for the better in a way.
Okay,
but
good.
It was also challenging. I had to adapt, I had to make new friends. And I mean, I got to school in the States and I remember seeing people wear camo cargos and like purple and silver, like different types of LeBrons. And so I bought that stuff and wore it. I was like, I like this. It's cool. I schools and they're like, everyone's doing Sperry's.
I want to see a picture later.
I'll find you a picture. I was doing Sperry's and like short.
That was probably the era I was wearing like ponchos, like these like fucking things and these gaucho pants that these girls used to always wear. So I was probably in the same era.
But then like I grew up wearing like, you know, skinny jeans and like clothes that are like are a little bit more form fitting and European fitting. And so I come to the States and I see like baggy long pants and I'm like, that looks like they didn't buy the right size. Right. That's just how people like
That's just how it was.
I'm like, shit, okay. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't mind having like a bigger like linen pants that are a little bit bigger. But I don't like, you know what I mean? I don't want to wear I don't want to wear 3/4 long shorts over the knee. It's like, well, that doesn't vibe.
Right. And then you went to Florida State University. How was that experience?
It was and I don't want to say mind blowing, but it was one of those things where you're just like, I didn't expect like college to be like this, and not in a bad way, just like in a like you can have a lot of different routes. I feel like at Florida State, and you can control what route you're going. And each semester was a new opportunity to kind of like reset that route. So I really like college for that, and I liked FSU because it was so such a melting pot. People from
how
South
fun was
Florida.
it? I mean, how fucking fun!
Too much fun. That was the problem.
FSU. I hear that it's just a fun fucking place, and a college.
I have so many stories.
Right. Okay. We'll get to some stories. But I agree. The college for me was the exact same thing. I went to JU and then UNF, and I didn't graduate, but I agree with why it's such a melting pot and such an opportunity for people to get into so many different paths, like you said. Like there's so many different options. And I think a lot of people are just like confused though when they get into college. That was me. That's why
I was like, how do I do this credit thing? And I lost money my first semester. I had so many classes. I was like, this is like almost like about money, not like me getting the actual classes I need. So I changed I'll tell you later. I ended up changing my major halfway through because I was like, I changed it twice, so don't even worry. But no, that's awesome. And then you moved to Jacksonville. Yep.
Okay.
I moved back to Jacksonville. It was almost like a kind of a forced thing during COVID, and it felt like the easiest thing, path least resistance. And so I was like, let me do that.
Right. And I have to say, I am quite a fan of yours, not only of your art, but of the content and message you put out about Jacksonville and the world. How, in your bio, you described how you love Jax for it as, quote, natural beauty, cultural offerings, and great potential. Can you tell me a little bit about that from Jacksonville and why you love it so much?
Well, one, it has a lot of space.
So much space.
Space is key.
So much space.
Space is key because coming from a city like Rome, a dense metropolis, as you go outer in the layers of the onion, it gets more spatial. In Jacksonville, there's actually a lot of space everywhere in the onion. So like you're in the center of downtown, there's a lot of space. Yes. You're not crowded yet. But also other areas are starting to get, I don't want to say crowded, but more dense. And I see that happening in like Mayport, Riverside, Avondale. And it's just nice to see like in the last 5 years, the city almost fill up. And I don't want to say in front of your eyes. For me, it's easy. Like it's only been 5 years. People have been here for 25 years. So it's like they've seen it over
They've seen it. Yeah, they've seen so much. But in perspective, as you're saying, but in 5 years, you can definitely see a change already. So you can only imagine the people who have been here for 20, 30, 50 years, It's
been since 2002 that I've been visiting Jacksonville almost every year, every summer for my grandparents.
Okay.
So I actually have seen a big change myself.
Right.
I just wasn't here every year to see it.
Right.
So I remember like the Sundog in Atlantic Beach.
Oh, Sundog!
Like
Shout out.
Yeah, stuff like that where it's like,
man.
dang, the city's going through a lot of change. But those people were part of that establishment. Their kids, those people, they're still here. So it's like there's going to be like a huge revitalization of like culture and just, I don't know, Jacksonville's like in a cool spot where I think there's also not only space, there's also a lot of opportunity for different industries. So like creatives, hospitality, tourism's about to explode. I think even more. There's not enough water sport industry places.
Oh my God! And why is there not?
Mayport Village is going to be a place for that. I guarantee Mayport Village. We
have so much fucking water. Have you seen the Cat Williams special on Jacksonville?
No, it has the most water. I know
he makes a joke that there's so much fucking water in Jacksonville. He's like, there's 1,700 bridges in this bitch because there's so much water. Yeah. So I understand that too. And like, why aren't there more like water sports, like you said?
Yeah. So I think there's not only a lot of opportunity for a variety of professions, but also it's not what's the word called yet too? It's not saturated too. You can go into almost any industry, and if you're good at what you do, you'll get recognized and you can really make a dent. I think that's cool about Jacksonville. It's like you're a young person in the early 20s or mid 20s, late 20s, early 30s, whatever. You can make a dent because it's about, I feel like people acknowledge the good work. They're like, oh, who's this new person doing this?
I think there's a lot less gatekeeping. I think I think like you said, if you have the just drive and the grit to get, especially in Jacksonville, if you have the drive and the grit to have a niche of whatever you want and specialize that and go after that, I think this is a perfect place to do it because it's so before the come up.
Correct. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think like this is the place to start something of your own, if anything, you know, whereas in cities that are a lot more, I feel like maybe develop's not the right word, but with things like
nightlife too.
Right.
The nightlife here is so under-established, and that's why all the people from Miami are coming up to, downtown club space owners, investors are creeping into downtown. I mean,
I love it.
There's a lot of people who like, they see, even
there's so much
Club Myth too is doing a renovation. They're growing up like their upstairs floor. They're doing
good. I didn't even know that. Yeah, there is so much potential, and I love that you put that in your bio because that is probably one of the things that I tell people the most to focus on too. So much potential in such a city, and there are so many different opportunities and creatives out here like that people just need to tap into. You know what I'm saying? And you just would be open to go outside your comfort zone sometimes, you know?
And it's funny because I was like speaking to somebody today who's owns a record label, and they're actually looking for a place in Positano. They have a $2 million cash budget. Nice to have that. And I'm connecting them with somebody who I know in Italy who's a realtor and who can help and facilitate. I don't have a license in Italy, so I can't broker it, but I can connect them and make sure it gets taken care of.
Are you going to get a license?
I'm not sure if I legally can obtain one based on my citizenship, which I'm not a full citizen. I have a permanent residence. It's a way to be almost fully a citizen without having to pay the taxes, and just like I have to renew it every 5 or 10 years. Okay. So I'm legally can go there and stay for multiple years.
If there's a way to do it.
But if there's a way for me to get my real estate license when in Italy, I'll get it.
Then you'd be so much cool.
I can speak Italian, and it would help with facilitating my goal of doing international real estate.
Gold points through the roof. You're so awesome.
But also, back to my point, this gentleman, when I mentioned to him, I'm based in Jacksonville, you should look into this too if you're looking to invest and have just a place to crash on the East Coast by the water. He's like, I can't even see it. I was like, damn it. I want to find somebody who's like, show me. You know what I mean? Like, take me on a tour. If I get somebody like that, I'll take him on a tour. I won't probably drive my own car just because they say not to do that as a realtor. But I'll take him to the best spots. I'll show him. This is why you got to come to Jax, a tour guide.
Be comfortable with it. I mean, too. And I think that has a lot to do with it. Like, just, I don't know. But I think that's cool if you do that and you know all the best spots.
I know a few spots. Yeah.
You know,
I got lucky to have exposure
all the best spots. So, real estate, how did you find real estate? Is it your passion, or has it become one of many passions that you may have for yourself? Because I have one of many,
That's a good question. No,
this is one of many.
Absolutely. So no, I love
how have you came into real estate, and how is it affecting you and Jax, or how does Jax affect real estate? Tell us a little bit about that.
So in terms of the real estate, what is it called? The real estate transaction world. I'm a bit of a greenhorn. I've honestly only had my license for like 3.5 months. So
it's okay.
That's fine. But I'm under contract already with somebody. So that's pretty impressive. I'm proud of myself.
I think you're doing great.
No, and it's not an easy field. That's what I love about it. And that's what really, that was one of the first things that inspired me to do it. Was one, it wasn't an easy field. And if you have nothing but time and are creative, what approach can I take to cracking and breaking into that field? So obviously being somebody who's creative and as an artist, I was like, I can bring that to real estate.
Yes.
And I want to be able to work on, the prettiest, nicest homes and have a team.
The most beautiful, it's just us.
Yeah, a team that can facilitate that kind of work and craftsmanship, whether it's wood building, whether it's having a wood workshop, whether it's marble, whether it's anything that it's creative. I want to be able to know those people and connect those people to my buyers or customers and bring them.
Start your own networking.
Exactly. I don't even want to own the company that does that. I want to just be able to facilitate that knowledge and be like, this is who you should work. Because it's so hard to find people that are trustworthy.
The connecting hand.
Yeah, I got I don't want to say burned, but messed up in trying to buy the house I currently have. The seller was so bad. Just so bad. She made it horrible to buy a house. And I was like, it just was such a turnoff, but it motivated me
to make it
I want to never work with a seller like this. And I want to always make sure that, take care of people. And it was just like,
I never want to be that seller. I never,
No, exactly. And I was also super motivated by the fact that, it's just an industry where you kind of have to have a lot of other knowledge than just like knowing the value of the land. You know what I mean? You have to know like what's going on in the area. You have to be connected to people in the community. It's a very like you're pretty much like a matchmaker and being a matchmaker.
Absolutely. You got to know all different types of personalities. You got to know what works and what doesn't with certain type of people, just like with homes.
Less is more, like if you quiet. And not saying, I'm a big talker. So like for me, being quiet is like hard. So I have to know when to be like, I don't need to say anything. This thing sells itself. They're like sold.
But so just like with dating, and like being a matchmaker, you got to know what works and what doesn't, and who you're working with. Being a real estate agent is not only just knowing the land, as you said, but knowing the buyer, knowing what their wants and needs are, listening, as you said, and does this neighborhood fit what their vibe and their energy and what they're projecting towards me. And a good real estate agent can detect that, right? Absolutely.
Yeah. You're there for them. At the end of the day, if they don't want to work with you, it's as simple as block, delete your number, or just, hey, I don't want to work with you anymore. I appreciate you. Everything you've done. And that's it. Then it's done.
Right.
And that client is never going to give you a single cent or time of their day again. And you know what? I don't want to have those people, but sometimes you end up
100%.
and it's just they don't want to do it. It's fine. You're not my customer.
Sometimes it's just not meant to be.
You know what I'm saying? Work for everyone.
Right.
That's the truth.
But and not everyone wants to work for you.
That's right.
That's why I try to tell people and they're like, well, why don't they like me?
Not everyone's going to always like you.
Not everyone's going to like you. And I tell people all the time too, like, well, you don't like everyone. You can't sit here and say, I love everyone I meet. It's not a bad thing if you don't like someone, it's just reality. Like you don't have to, you don't like everyone. For sure. And they don't have to like you. That's the beauty of like, it all though, So, and just like real estate, I'm sure like you have people that you want to work with and you don't want, and making sure you work with people that match up with your values and is something and have an eye for that as well, because I think a lot of times it seems all good and dandy at first how someone portrays themselves or their business, and then when you get to working with them, you're like, this isn't really aligning, so you have to be able to cut things off. You have to be able to, especially in business, like know that that's not the right business move for you. Maybe as a person, this would be a dope person, but like it's a business thing. Like that's what I have to think of like every day as I step out the door. I'm not just Jennifer anymore. I'm a host of Generally Speaking, and so when people meet me and connect a face to a name, I can't just act like Jennifer, and I want to be able to represent my podcast when I'm outside and meeting people, and you're the same way. Of course. When you're out and having fun, it's not, of course, be yourself always. But like now you have a representation of a business, and people see that.
Yeah. And it's a big shift going to from like, a lot of people knew me as maybe Ari or Ari Art, the artist. So like it's a big shift to go from being somebody who's an artist to being somebody who's a realtor. But my goal was to be like, listen, both are not easy and both take time. And I feel like you can almost integrate both one within the other, meaning like I ran into this gentleman who is a broker out in California, and he's also a full-time artist. And so I was like, if this guy can broker deals, $1 million California houses, and then have paintings as a thing to just do and give people art.
Right.
I'm like, I'd much rather be like that.
I want to do that.
Give people my art because they chose to work with me, rather than have to peddle and force to sell something and make something that might not be what I want to sell something. So I can provide the value in that. I'm not going to bull crap. I can negotiate. So I'm going to negotiate the best deal I possibly can without ruining the deal for you.
Of course.
And then also at the same time, bring an added value with my marketing. I don't know but you've seen the videos I make. So I want to do those.
Literally. So that's exactly right. It's just by seeing that. Hi, Brian. Not the right time. But because I've followed you for a while. I remember I met you at Collab, and because I was like, I think that's that art guy.
That's funny.
And my friend Josie was there, I think, and she was like, well, go say hi. I was like, no, I don't want to embarrass myself. But anyways, I've been following you, and from what you like give out there and put out there, like that's something I recognize and that I want to work with, and like that I want to showcase, like you're saying, and like instead of making art, like trying to like force something to pay your bills, like you using a real estate as another love and passion, and then giving back someone that supports you in that way.
Cannot wait
with another love that you have. Like it's like the circle.
Exactly. And so once
you're like, oh my God, so much love.
Yeah. And I want to work. My goal as an artist too is to work with somebody as a realtor, work with them on their first home, work with them on their 9th home. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's like the average person I think goes through, I don't know if it's 5 or 7 homes in their lifetime. So that's a lot of homes. If you're helping them on their first, there's a chance you're going to deal with them on multiple transactions.
Absolutely.
And I want to keep that connection. So that's why like my element to
reoccurring business is what keeps business, right? So like persistence will get you it, but consistency will have you keep it.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's something that I always want to strive to be better at, is being consistent.
Yeah.
And so
that's on my vision board, guys.
Consistency.
Out my house.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very important word.
And it's true though, you know, like being persistent, you'll get it. Like if you want something bad enough, you'll definitely get it. But like consistency, you'll definitely keep it.
Correct.
You know, and so speaking about people buying their first homes, what are some tips for first-time home buyers that you can give us? Maybe some confusions you run into with first-time home buyers, like even when I was asking you questions on Instagram.
Sure.
So what are some things you can maybe ease some people that are looking for a first-time home here in Jacksonville?
Okay. First thing, it's not obviously a small investment or decision. And you want to do it too with somebody you trust. So if it's not me,
you can trust this guy.
If it's not me, it better be somebody you trust.
Okay.
And it's also about, there's always obviously tips for going to buy, how to make certain offers. Cash offers are always going to be better than, going to get a loan or an FHA loan. Okay. Right now the interest rates actually are gone up more. So it's made it harder for people who have, lower income and less buying power to get the size home and the price per month that they want. And so it's forcing a lot of new first-time home buyers out of the pool right now.
Oh, dang.
But at the same time, it's also creating opportunity for other people too.
Right.
That may be, middle tier home buyers who have a little bit more money for the first home.
Okay.
My advice would be, if you find something you truly love and you can afford it and you can get qualified, get it.
Go for it.
Because the prices are only going to go up. As soon as the rates go back down to 5 or 4, prices are going to skyrocket, because Jacksonville's behind all these other cities like Tampa, Miami. I mean, it's behind price-wise a lot. And so there's still
so it's only going to go up.
It's only going to go up. But but in the next couple of years, no one knows if it's going to be like in the next year, next 5 years, next 3 years. But that's how real estate is. It just look at the history of it. It only goes up and it's finite. So that's what I tell people. If you're shopping for a first time home and you find something you truly love,
get it immediately if you can.
But don't force yourself into buying a home just because you feel the need. You saw somebody buy one, so you need to buy one. It's like I wouldn't want to get somebody into a home that then couldn't afford their home or they have to foreclose. I would hate myself.
I mean, like how it's like heartbreaking.
Yeah, no way, no. So my advice would be, if you've been saving up, make the decision if it's the right time. If it's not the right time, keep saving up. And there's always going to be opportunities. It's about finding the opportunity you want.
Now,
and for me, it was like I'd waited a little bit over 6 months to find the place I wanted. And I slept in my mom's extra room for like 2 months because I was homeless. I had no home. I was like, I'm not going to rent another house, spend $2,000+ when my mortgage is going to be $2,000+. And so I found something I liked. 6 other offers came in on the price. It ended up selling over the asking price by $20,000. And I ended up getting it because of the way we put down a cash binder and deposit. And it was non-refundable, which you're not really always supposed to do because it's very risky to do that. But I was like, I want this house. And so I want it. We got the house and I love the property and I think it's very special. So if you find something that's very special, it doesn't matter the rate you're getting at. Right. They say date the rate. It's true. You pay for it till you can refinance it and then you have a lower rate. So that would be my advice. Is like, I didn't know that. You don't have to keep the same rate. I
didn't know that.
Yeah, you can refinance it after they drop. So say in like 5 years, it's 3%, 4%.
Okay. You can refinance it for that current.
And not only that, you can also pull money out of your own mortgage. Let's say you've built equity up in your home, rates go down, you can pull money out at that rate and get a loan on your house. So
I did not know any of this stuff. A lot of people
during COVID did that. So that's why having a home is like they say it's called forced savings. It's you're forced to save with a mortgage. You're not losing that monthly mortgage. Some of it's going to interest, which is what the bank makes money on, and the rest is going towards the principal, which is the cost of the home. As you build up that principal and you build equity in your home, you can then use that equity to do certain things. So you can pull out money and you can actually use your home as your own bank. So that's what a home technically they say can be is your own personal savings. It's your own, so these people who have $1 million
Listen up, people. This is great information.
I'm learning this too as I go, but this is something I've learned. I want people to know this. So owning a home creates power as a homeowner. You have certain benefits that non-homeowners don't have. So you can pull out equity in your home and use that equity to repair your home, make it more valuable, and then resell it for more.
And then your equity
it
goes up.
Correct.
What?
So
these are great things.
Owning a home is a way to fight inflation. That's why when you own a home and the cost of things go up, so does the cost of real estate. So then you can sell your home and make those gains and use those gains to kind of level off the inflation. That's why people buy real estate. It's a hedge against inflation. I hope I'm not saying it. No, it is. Right, it's a way to fight inflation.
Wow, I didn't know like any of that. And that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. That's like super good information to know, especially like I want to buy a house someday. I know like it's not the right time for me, but going into it now, I feel a little bit more comfortable talking to you about that.
Yeah, that's why I tell people when you can afford to and when you do find the good property, that's why I say you don't want to be, what is it called? House poor. Like you own a huge home and
then all you can eat is ramen.
Yeah. You're using your microwave at home all the time. Then it's eating at home all the time. But my whole thing is when you can find that property that you can afford the down payment and then you can afford the payments, it's a great vehicle to save. It's a way to save, build wealth, and then you provide the opportunity for somebody else to use your home and rent it out.
Okay. No. Maybe I need to speed up my dream. That is a goal for me.
It was a goal for me, and I'm glad I hit it. I mean, it was something that I was like, wow, I can't believe like this is real.
That's definitely going to be a dream. Is a dream for me.
And most people too this isn't like embarrassing for me. I mean, I had somebody co-sign on it. Like my mom is financially way better off than me. Her credit's way better. So the bank gave me a way better rate and buying power for having her co-signing. And so I have a lot of buyers. So
listen up, Mom.
I go tell a lot of my buyers, hey, are your parents on this? They're like, yep. And I'm like, okay, awesome. And so that gives them a way better.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I structured it so that I have a certain equity of the home versus my mom. And she's an investor almost in the property. That's like, you know what I mean? You got nowadays with it being so hard to get a home, it's like, it's nice to have that kind of support in my family to have my mom do that for me.
Listen up, Mom.
I'm still making the payments.
Right. Okay, Mom. I need you to co-sign on this for me because I want a house and I want it for Mari.
I'm so sorry, Mrs. Janeo. Sorry. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Janeo. But that's what I ended up doing, and I could have probably done it. I could have done it without her. Just my money wouldn't have gone this far.
Right.
But
why not use it? Like you're saying.
But here's my incentive. Was my offer to her. I said, Mom, I'm a first-time home buyer, so it's only 3.5% down for me. That means you have to put so much less money to get into this house and build your equity. So it gave her a way to invest her money and appreciate her leverage her investment through me, because it was only 3.5%. She's looking at it like, oh, $7,000 for me to own 25% of. Yeah, no brainer. You see what I mean? So I made it favorable for her.
Okay.
Just a good
I'll have you make it favorable for my mom. She would love you. She would love you.
That's funny.
But no, thank you for all those tips, because I think a lot of people like me are in my position, to like, who are just confused and uncomfortable going into something that they know nothing about. And obviously that's a chance, you know, for people to be taken advantage of. And so it's really helpful that you're sharing all that and making a more like comfortable and just a safe space for people buying a home in Jacksonville.
I honestly was very lucky to have the broker who helped me. But it's like, if you don't feel comfortable with the person you're working with, I mean, it's a really big investment. It's like there's lawyers involved, there's title companies, title lawyers. Like, it's a serious thing.
Oh, right.
I have nothing to say regarding the law. I'm not a lawyer, but like, I have to make sure that what the customer is saying is reflected correctly in the contract. So there's a lot of addendums and legal jargon that, growing up with a corporate lawyer mother who's made me, I've seen some of her stuff. I'm like, oh my God, this is nothing compared to the jargon and stuff that she deals with.
Right.
I'm like, whoa, I don't even know what this says. This is English.
Right.
And like, no, it's English. This is English. I'm like, holy crap, ancient.
He's a dope. No, this is English. Yeah. Dang, that's crazy too. Yeah. And like, all that jargon is like super confusing and intimidating for a lot of people.
And so I have a broker, and my broker just Fluid Realty. They're on 3rd Street. They're this big white building at the end of Seagate, right by Fletcher, ironically. So I love them, and the broker's awesome. His name's Britt Sanders, and he's just a great person to know and guide also me in transactions. And so whenever I have a question, I'll tell the customer, one sec, let me ask the broker what best way to approach this. I have no problem telling them I don't know. I would never give them a BS answer. And then, No,
it's definitely better to say, hey, I don't know, but I know someone that does or will or can help. And it
feels nice to have a whole team of people who know what they're doing and support you.
Well, two heads are way better than one always. And even if you do know, like asking someone for reference is like.
It's a great brokerage. There's a lot of people I can ask for advice, and it's just good to have that. It's nice to work at.
That's great.
I drive all the way across town, 30 minutes, and I love it. I'm like, heck yeah, I get to come out here to the beach to be at my broker. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I live at the beach. I love the beach. If I were to get a house, I would love to live either like Riverside or Atlantic Beach.
Yeah. Where in Atlantic Beach do you have an idea?
I live right by, do you know where Harbor Tavern is? It's like this old dive bar. Yes. I live right behind it.
Is it off of Mayport?
Mayport in Atlantic Beach, yeah.
Yeah, I love Mayport. I grew up there. I would
like Fly's Tie? Do you ever go to Fly's Tie?
No. Wait.
It's like an old Irish bar.
Is it past Simply Taste Italian Hanger Bay, or is it before?
It's before, so it's right under the bridge in Atlantic Beach.
That's okay.
Right under that.
I know that I used to go to the what's it called, the little park that would lead out to the water there.
Yeah, Tide Views. So I live right on that little, where that dock is. I live. Boom.
Such a cool little hidden.
It is amazing. I love going for runs out there, and the sunsets are beautiful. So they named it like a sunset dock because it's just like.
Do you know the pergola that's out there?
Yeah.
I put that up with Anthony Rooney.
Shut up.
No, Anthony was. I didn't know who this guy was, and I met him, and he was like, "Hey, you want to help me?" And
life is so crazy.
Yeah, I worked with him. He's the nicest guy, one of the nicest guys I know, and he was like, "Ari, do you have some time?" And I ended up helping him and his whole family. It was like a whole family thing they've been working on for years, and it was so cool that I was like,
what?
Coincidentally, I met Anthony a couple weeks before, and this was going on. He took me to Cork, showed me his workshop, and he's like, "Yeah, this family ended up funding the project, and I've been working on this for a couple of years now, and we installed it." So it was like really cool to see. It's like
life is so crazy.
It's called like the Wave. It has a name there, I think.
Really? Yeah. Okay, I'll go look at the name next time.
It's a wooden pergola that was built by Anthony Rooney. Yeah.
Wow, that's so crazy. Life is full circle because I've seen that pergola probably 1,001 times.
The little island there.
And that's crazy. Now I've met the person who's helped build it. Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Like, I had a very little part.
Yeah. That's fine. But you're still in the credits, Sure. Those are still very important people. But I want to talk about too, throughout your Instagram page, which I absolutely love. It's so like aesthetically pleasing.
I don't do it on purpose.
No. It works. You're constantly shouting out local businesses and restaurants. I see and I see that you're always cooking up a great meal. let's play a game. I'm going to name some types of food and tell me a little bit about your favorite restaurants for these types of foods, okay?
Yeah.
Favorite Italian restaurants?
Do they have to be in like the Duval area?
No, you can anywhere.
Okay,
And yeah.
Limoncello in New Smyrna Beach.
Wow.
Limoncello.
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 Okay.
Limoncello.
See.
I will drive there an hour and whatever it is to get there. That is some of the best Italian food.
Limoncello, okay. Which I love limoncello.
Limoncello is a great drink.
It's so good.
But the name of the place is literally called Limoncello, and it's amazing. I kid you not.
Okay.
Also, Pizza Time St. Augustine. Shout out.
Pizza Time.
Yeah, Domenico. I know the owner. He's been doing that for, I think, 9 years, almost 7 years. Pizza Time is rated by like US Today, one of the top pizza places in the country. It was at one time.
Pizza Time. And what else?
Pizza Time.
Well, I'm just
Limoncello.
I'm just going to tag them after this is done.
It don't matter. Limon.
Okay.
Cillo. And then
Cillo.
Yep. Limoncello. And then who else?
And then I'll tag them after and do like a little shout out. That's awesome. So Pizza Time St. Augustine, Limoncello New Smyrna.
And in Jack's, I had a great meal at and I've only been there once, but it was the two brothers that own what's the pasta shop called on the corner of San Pablo?
Catullo's.
Catullo's is a great pasta. I actually really enjoy Mezzaluna too.
Mezzaluna's my favorite. Shout out to Mezzaluna.
Congrats,
I literally go there all the time by myself just to have a nice,
the owners of that place. Alan Suela did a really good job on that place. It's been around for a while. They bought it and redid it and did a whole.
The inside is such a vibe. Yeah. So the Mezzaluna has the perfect ambiance. Yeah. They always have the most perfect person just playing the softest guitar, you know, and then there's a fucking wood-fired pizza oven. Yep. They have the lights are perfect and like the open kitchen concept. Bar is beautiful and curved, and the desserts.
Oh, there's good desserts there.
Yeah, so the olive oil cake. From there, I don't know if anyone of you have tried it, but olive oil cake is so good from Mezzaluna. So thanks, Mezzaluna, for that.
They also have this gentleman who's from Italy. His name's Umberto. He goes there and he's in his like early 90s. Yeah. And I kid you not, he loves it. And I met him there and I've been friends with this guy for like the last 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Umberto.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm like, holy crap, this guy's literally, and I asked him, he's like sharp as a whip. I'm like, you like this food? He's like, yeah, it's like the closest. That made me like consider it too. I was like, wow, it does remind, some of the dishes are really, really.
They're so just, I don't know, so made with love. Yeah. I could just tell.
I also tell people when they ask me that question about it, I'm like, my kitchen. I like my own Italian food. My mom too.
Tag his kitchen.
Yeah, my mom's my favorite. Like,
what's your favorite Italian dish to cook?
Probably carbonara.
What is that?
Carbonara is it's actually like they don't really know where it's derived from. They think it came over in like World War II when the Americans were like putting bacon and egg in their pasta. Some say that's not true though. But it's egg yolk turned into an egg sauce with bacon and cheese.
Yum.
But it's not like eggy, so it's like made. It's moved enough to get it like creamy. So
Yum.
it's like it's creme brulee like texture, like cream, and it's bacon bits. It's really good. It's like one of those dishes where you eat.
I want some now.
You eat it up to here. I'm like, it's coming out of my eyes. It's really.
I love that. Okay, dish. What about your favorite burger? I got mine. Yeah, favorite burger. Okay. Or like rendition of a burger. I know there's a lot.
Favorite burger in town is actually at Biscotti's.
So
Biscotti's has this burger made from, there's kind of tied, Pine Grove Jack's and Biscotti's. Biscotti's has this burger made with prime steak meat. Like shoved from steak. And it's really freaking good. And it's really good. But then Pine Grove is like 2 streets down the road, like straight shot down the road, actually, in Avondale, same neighborhood. And
Pine Grove, what is it called?
Pine Grove Jack's. Pine Grove Deli, sorry. It's been around for like almost 50 years. The founder, I think his name's Bader.
Okay.
And he has a son, his son's name's Nader. And he has
what a cool name.
I know. And the family's like Bahali, I think. I don't want to get it wrong, but they're like an awesome family. They've been around for a long time, and their food is really, really good. Their meats are always like sourced.
What makes to you a good burger? So for me, if the bread isn't there, then the sandwich itself is ruined for me.
Cold bun?
Like, right. So like
Toasted bun.
Right. So even if like a normal sandwich, if the bread is not right, like you can have all the insides perfect, right?
Cold bun.
But if the bread isn't there, it's like, you know, and the type of meat, you know, there are some places where I like the all stacked burger, and then there's some where I like just the meat and cheese, or just a meat and a veggie, you know what I'm saying?
For me growing up, having not ate that many burgers like in my childhood, I mean, I was eating burgers at home with my mom. She'd like make small like sliders, but I didn't eat many burgers out in Italy. There's not like a big cultural thing like, oh, let's go. So McDonald's though is a big freaking deal in Rome. So growing up, I love McDonald's. Let's go to the McDonald's. It's like the spot. You'd have to go to McDonald's, and it's not like either cheap consider there too. It's like $6, €6, you get a meal. Here it's like $2 you get a meal. So it's actually expensive there at McDonald's. Right. So kids would be like, we're going to the andiamo al McDonald's. That's what you say. Andiamo al McDonald's. And that's like, that's in like Italian Roman. Andiamo, which is andiamo, broken andiamo al McDonald's, like Roman. And people dress up and they go shot at McDonald's and they're chilling there. And
oh my God, I want to go.
That was like me 12 years old to like 14. I wasn't me personally, but one of my friends would go, andiamo al McDonald's, they'd chill and hang out.
Oh, wow.
And you wouldn't even eat. You just go to hang out there. It's like, it's like what the fuck?
So like, cool.
Yeah, you just go to hang out there. But that's how Italy is. Italians are great at just hanging out. You can just go hang out anywhere.
Yeah, the art of doing nothing.
Dolce far niente.
Yes, that.
Yeah, that's what we do a lot, and we play soccer with like a little bottle cap. So things like that are like memories.
So like simple and just like you know, enjoying.
So my best burger to me is ideally like, I really freaking like McDonald's cheeseburgers. I
love McDonald's cheeseburgers. I'm so glad you.
I got a plain cheeseburger.
I'm so glad you got that. Yeah, dollar menu.
I literally will get 3 plain cheeseburgers, and that's it. I'm so happy. And people are like,
they're so good.
I'm like, are you kidding? I'm like, I grew up in Italy where like this is like this is like a grail to get a McDonald's. A Big Mac is like a. And there's
also the fries and like the sodas from it. I just the one in Atlantic Beach, the McDonald's, that's on point.
Oh, I grew up with that one being open late, and now they're not open late.
Now
2 a.m. you could go there. Now it's like closed at 10.
Right, but that one, the service, the service is good, and the food. I always, every time I get a burger there, it's
build is iconic too. It's iconic.
Yes,
it's one of those golden arches, double. It's a weird architectural.
So I think Jerry's Grill off Hodges in Atlantic. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's a small sports bar. That is going to be my vote for best burger.
Good to know. I'm gonna remember that.
Oh, you should go. You would love their food. Jerry's Grill. Okay, so favorite Mexican and tacos.
I like this red taco truck on 3rd Street.
Jalapeno Express.
Yeah, I literally went there today. All right,
I love Jalapeno Express.
I like them, and honestly, Taqueria Cinco I think is the best flavored meat in any tacos I've had in town. They're in 5 Points. Their brisket and their steak, everything. The meat is flavored.
What about? Have you tried that Talking Tacos place yet?
No. I saw that the new. Is that the one at the beach? Next to the gym?
I'm trying to try that real soon.
I walked up there and I didn't not go in because I didn't choose to. My friend was just like, nah, I didn't. I was like, okay. I just let it go. So we didn't go in.
Oh, dang.
I'm going to try it. It was just like, I was like, if it wasn't like, we're both agreeing on the spot.
Oh, okay. Well, right.
But yeah, and I don't ever judge a restaurant by like, you know, if I don't try it, I don't know what
if I don't try it. Right. So El Potro on 3rd Street.
Staple Die Hard.
It's just
you can go there.
Stable.
You know
5 beers and 5 shots for $20, guys.
I'll never let you down. I used to go there. One of my friends.
It'll never let you down.
My friend Jake, he'd come to that place with me and my friend Owen, and he'd order chicken nuggets, and would give him shit for ordering chicken nuggets.
Good.
And it would be hilarious. And
I love the whole stop there. They've been there for they're just like iconic. I feel like
my memory of El Potro is chicken nuggets. That's what my friend would order. Be like, why are you ordering chicken nuggets at a Mexican place? It's so funny. Right. He's like, they're good. I'm like, yep, okay.
As long as they're good, right? All right. So what about favorite dessert? Do you like dessert?
I do.
I am a dessert girl. I save room for dessert.
Or a dessert place?
Dessert place or at a restaurant. Doesn't matter.
Okay. There's the Pie Heaven in 5 Points. I mean, this lady, she needs.
There's a Pie Heaven off Mayport. Have you been?
Okay, my fault. I got the names mixed up. Pie Heaven's in Mayport. I was thinking of. I
was like, wow, she's expanding.
No. I don't know why I just butchered the name. It's Mixed Fillings. It's such a great play on words.
Sweet 30?
Mixed Fillings.
Mixed Fillings.
Yeah, instead of mixed feelings, it's mixed fillings. And I kid you not, this lady had a little shop on the back of, I think it's Oak Street, and she just moved and got her whole storefront. She sold out every day. I still haven't gone there because she's selling out every day. And I think to myself, I always get there when they're closed out, but I've gone there before and I just will splurge like $30 on 5 pieces of pie.
Of course.
And I'm like, damn, I should have done that. But it's
you should do that every time.
It's really tasty, and she's a real like an artisan baker pie. Pies are such an art. So when you have good pie, it's like shit.
God, I love pie.
The Scotties is always good, but that's like a given. Yeah, pie's good.
What's your favorite pie?
I like
all pie. I'm gonna have to say.
I would consider cheesecake pie.
Oh,
I don't consider it cake. I consider it pie because it has crust on the bottom.
Delicious.
So I go with cheesecake. Anything cheesecake.
Cheesecake is amazing. Yeah. I'm gonna shout out my sister's bakery in Jacksonville. Her name Stephanie's Sweet Bakery.
Stop.
Yeah.
Is it? Wait, where is it? Is it online or is it?
No, she just started it and she's just doing online orders and she's delivering and she has pop-ups.
That's good.
But yeah, I'm gonna shout out her. She is an amazing baker and an artist too with her desserts and everything.
What's it called? I'm gonna look it up.
It's Stephanie's Sweet Bakery.
Heck yeah.
Or Stephanie's Sweet Treats. So she had to change the LLC. I'll send you the profile if you don't. But yeah, so those are awesome recommendations for everybody listening. Please, if you didn't get a chance to get that, rewind and listen to all these great recommendations from Ari about Jacksonville, which I love. I love that you're a foodie and an artist and all around like intellectual and someone that's so avid about Jacksonville.
Appreciate that.
So
it's a big difference from where I grew up, but there's so much to do and see, and I really like being here. So it's like one of those things where I want to be able to always be in Jacksonville, but also go back and forth between here and Italy and share it with Italians. I want to bring more Italians to Jacksonville. My goal is to internationalize Jacksonville.
Bring it.
Come on.
Bring it. All right. One last question before we have to go. What type of artist would you call yourself in Jacksonville?
I would consider myself a contemporary artist.
Contemporary?
Yeah. I think I'm still like exploring kind of like how I want to be perceived.
That's how art is. Yeah. It's just but
it's less about how I want to perceive than just like, I like making good art. Like I don't ever feel like I've made art and given it to somebody and been like, that's bad. If it is, I honestly will be like, wait, let me like try and like, I really like take a lot of pride on this projects I do. So that's why now I'm trying to systematically work on my art inside of customers I work on real estate wise homes. Because it's just like if I already understand the customer, I already know the space.
The art piece is gonna be
art comes easy. Yeah, if you know the space you're working in, it's just gonna blend with the space that you're working with, and it's gonna be different every time. Who would say no to like a beautifully handmade frame?
Who would say no to that? That's why I'm so excited to support you when who hates art? Like
come on.
That's why I'm so excited to support you when I buy a house. I'm definitely picking. My mom's blowing me up now. But I'm definitely picking you as my real estate agent whenever I'm ready. So thank you. I wanted to say before we ended here, thank you for letting me be a part of your story, but you're also a part of mine. So I appreciate you helping me in this process, and you're so wonderful and intelligent. So in the future, let me know what Jennifer and Generally Speaking can do for you. Please let everyone know your handle and contact and what you got going on.
Sweet. My handle is Ari Art. It's spelled ARIART. Very simple. And my email's ariarthomes@gmail.com. So ariart+homes@gmail.com. And you can reach out to me whenever you need any help with anything real estate or creative needs. I'd love to refer you to somebody who can help or help you if I can myself.
All right. Thank you, Ari. I loved having you on. Say goodbye to the camera. Generally Speaking is available on all major platforms, so check it out for all things Jacksonville. Hit that follow and subscribe button or smash that subscribe button like my friends at Content is Profit Podcast say. Say goodbye to the camera, Ari. We will see you later.
Like a soccer player, I'm just trying to kick it with y'all.